All right. To be honest, I really didn't want to wade in on this because I don't have enough information, but this article came across my attention, so here I am. So it's titled, J.K. Rowling and Elon Musk named in cyberbullying lawsuit filed by Algerian boxer Imane Khelif after Olympic win. Or is it Khelif? I think it's Khelif. Alright. So J.K. Rowling and Elon Musk have both been named in a criminal complaint filed to French authorities over alleged acts of aggravated cyber harassment against Algerian boxer and newly crowned Olympic champion Imane Khelif. Nabil Boudi, the Paris-based attorney of Khelif, confirmed to Variety that both figures were mentioned in the body of the complaint, posted to the Anti-Online Hatred Center of the Paris Public Prosecutor's Office on Friday. The lawsuit was filed against X, which under French law means that it was filed against unknown persons, that ensures that the prosecution has all the latitude to be able to investigate against all people, including those who may have written hateful messages under pseudonyms, said Boudi. The complaint nevertheless mentions famously controversial figures. J.K. Rowling and Elon Musk are named in the lawsuit, among others, he said, adding that Donald Trump would be part of the investigation. Of course he is. Lately, is there a controversy that doesn't involve him? Trump tweeted, so whether or not he is named in our lawsuit, he will inevitably be looked into as part of the prosecution. Khelif, who on Saturday won the Olympic gold medal in the women's 66-kilogram boxing competition, spent much of the 2024 Olympics in Paris at the center of a noisy and unpleasant dispute about her gender eligibility that reverberated around the world. Despite being born female and not identifying as transgender or intersex, and being backed by the International Olympic Committee, who asserted scientifically this is not a man fighting a woman, Khelif faced a torrent of accusations and abuse over her gender. Because in the last World Championships, the boxing federation is run by Russia, by the Russian Federation. So, considering what we know of Russia, and, if they come within sniffing distance of someone who, in their view, couldn't possibly be female, or just the fact that they're corrupt as hell, it doesn't surprise me that they're the ones who started this. And the fact that, and I also don't believe it because, well, they didn't reveal the test, just the results. So God knows what test it was. Most of the attacks came via social media, particularly on Twitter, and the controversy was escalated when high-profile figures stepped into the fray. In one message to her 14.2 million followers, Rowling posted a picture from Khelif's fight with Italian boxer Angela Chirini, accusing the former of being a man who is enjoying the distress of a woman he's just punched in the head. Again, not true. Totally a woman. Musk, meanwhile, shared a post from swimmer Riley Gaines that claimed men don't belong in women's sports. Okay, no one is claiming men do belong in women's sports. The ex-owner co-signed the message by writing, absolutely. And again, that completely misunderstands what is going on. In it misunderstands trans women, and it misunderstands what the hell is going on with this boxer. Trump posted a message with a picture from the fight with Karina, accompanied by the message, "I will keep men out of women's sports." Again, that's not what's happening here. And even if she were trans, which she is not, still, that's showing a complete lack of understanding of what trans women are. Alright. Booty said that although the complaint mentions names, what we're asking is that the prosecution investigates not only these people, but whoever it feels necessary. If the case goes to court, they will stand trial. Now, on the one hand, she did receive a lot of hate. However, to go after these people, I don't know. I really have mixed emotions about this. Because on the one hand, I see what she's saying, but I don't know. Booty also claimed that while the lawsuit was filed in France, it could target personalities overseas, pointing out that the prosecutor's office for combating online hate speech has a possibility to make requests for mutual legal assistance with other countries. He added that there were agreements with the U.S. equivalent of the French Office for Combating Online Hate Speech. Like I said, I have mixed emotions about this. On the one hand, nobody should go through what she went through. Because people just get little bits of information and then they just run with it. Maybe she did fail a gender test. XY women exist. It's very rare, but they exist. Women with high testosterone exist because, shocker, women do produce testosterone. Obviously not as much as men, but they do. So, again, I don't know what this gender test supposedly said, and I don't trust the Russians as far as I can throw them when it comes to, things like sports. Because they're known for their doping programs. So, yeah. Them and fairness don't exactly go hand in hand. Plus, because of all the shady shit that's going on, they might get kicked out of the Olympics. So, yeah. If you're constantly being threatened with being kicked out of the Olympics, because this is not the first time boxing was threatened with that. I wouldn't say you're the most clean sport. Logan Paul was also among those who attacked Khelif, who on social media posting on X following her win against Karini. This is the purest form of evil unfolding right before our eyes. A man was allowed to beat up a woman on a global stage, crushing her life's dream while fighting for her deceased father. This delusion must end. Oh my God, so much wrong with it. But then again, this is Logan Paul. He was obviously attempting to use his one brain cell. So, again, not a man. Even if she were trans, still not a man. But she's not trans or intersex. She was born female. And purest form of evil? Holocaust victims would like a word. Seriously, I would hardly call this the purest form of evil. Even if you think that she is a man, which she is not. Still, to call it the purest form of evil is just stupid. And even the boxer, Karini, she stopped after like 46 seconds. She goes, I'm not a victim. I'm not going to weigh in on this controversy. I made my decision, and that's it. So she's the only one, besides Khelif herself, who's taking the high road. Just, I'm not getting involved. All right. And crushing her live stream. Well, that might not be completely wrong, but you could say that about anyone who loses in the first round. That the winner crushed the loser's live stream. You could say that about the silver medal if you think that all there is the gold medal. You could literally say that about any sport at any part of the sport. So, okay. While fighting for her deceased father, Jesus Christ, let's just lay off the melodrama here. Okay, you know what? There are other athletes who fight for something, whether it be a family member, a friend, whatever. So it's not like this is unique to her and this whole situation, because even if she were to lose to someone without any controversy, it wouldn't change the fact that she lost in the first round. So, Paul later deleted the post and admitted that he might be guilty of spreading misinformation. You think? At least he was willing to admit that he made a mistake. So, my opinion of Logan Paul just went up a notch, because not many people are willing to admit they made a mistake. They usually just double down on the mistake. He at least was willing to admit he was wrong, so I give him credit for that. But for Bully, such apologies, including those that Khelif has received personally from prominent figures who tweeted derogatory comments, wouldn't change anything regarding the investigation. The lawsuit is filed and the fact remains, he said. As for X, Booty, now is it Booty or Bully? Because Jesus Christ, this article is going back and forth. Said the complaint is aimed at the authors of social media posts and not the platforms themselves. It's a responsibility of lawmakers to issue sanctions to platforms, not ours, he said. But he did note that cyber harassment cases were now being taken much more seriously by judicial authorities, and that in some cases there are prison sentences. Like I said, I had mixed emotions about this. On the one hand, people should be allowed to say whatever stupid shit comes to their little brains. And in this case, it is very little their brains. However, I don't know if, and I'm all for, consequences for running your mouth like an idiot without, bothering to learn the basics. Like, what was this supposed gender test that she supposedly failed? And one other boxer the same way. Which, by the way, that other boxer doesn't seem to be getting the same vitriol as Imane. And, it's just, I get it. They should, there are consequences for running your mouth on a subject you know nothing about. Absolutely. We don't know all the facts. As far as we know, the gender test was kept confidential, was kept sealed because it's bullshit. Or maybe there's something to it, but the IOC vouches for her. So, granted, the IOC is not exactly this bastion of purity, but, considering all the shit that's been going on with boxing, I would actually be willing to believe the IOC more than the Boxing Federation. Because if it's true that she failed a gender test, well then tell us what the test was and how did she fail. Because again, there are some women who have high testosterone naturally. There are women who are XY. Granted, it's rare, but it does happen. So I would love to know the circumstance. Why did she fail? But they're keeping this under lock and key. So is it because they are trying to protect privacy? Or is it because it's bullshit? Just tell us. Let's see. What else? Khelif's coach, Pedro Diaz, told Variety that the bullying of Khelif endured during her run in the Olympics incredibly affected her and everyone around her. Well, of course. Bullying sucks. The first time she fought in the Olympics, there was this crazy storm outside of the ring, said Diaz, who runs Miami-based Mundo Boxing Gym, and started training with Khelif in February 2023. I had never seen anything so disgusting in my life, added the coach, who has participated in the training of 21 Olympic champions prior to the Algerian boxer. Diaz said he asked Khelif to refrain from looking at social media so she wouldn't lose her focus on winning the gold medal. That's probably sound advice even if you aren't being attacked relentlessly for something that isn't true. It's good policy to not go on social media unless you have your social media in such a way that it's, say, Instagram, and you're guaranteed to only see pictures from your friends as opposed to whatever shit some idiot is willing to post. She's so smart and has such an amazing motivation, he said, adding that her gold medal win felt like the most rewarding victory of my career as a coach. So that is all I have with that article. And, like I said, the IOC says she's a woman, that she isn't trans, she isn't intersex, that she was born female, she identifies as a woman. And if you see pictures of her, I fail to see how you can look at her and yell, that's a man. I mean, okay, she's taller. Have you seen volleyball players? Have you seen basketball players? These are not short people. But nobody says anything about them being trans. No, they don't. I mean, I just don't understand. You don't know the situation. And the fact that you're so quick to believe a Russian-led federation tells me that you're just looking for an excuse to hate. Or you are just so enamored with everything Russia, like, say, Trump, that you're willing to just go along with whatever Russia says. Because, like I said, Russia has a history of corruption in all things, but definitely in sports. They were already kicked out before in the Olympics for a doping scandal. And then they got kicked out because they decided to invade another country. Just because they wanted more territory, because Putin has this delusion that he's going to be the next czar of all the Russias. Or something. So, I wouldn't trust these people, especially if they're going to keep it secret. They're not going to release the nature of the test. They're not going to release, you know, how it was that she failed. What was it? If you're not going to release this is why, I think it was the IOC. Maybe it was WADA. I can't remember. One of the top courts allowed some Chinese swimmers who had previously been caught for doping into these Olympics. The kicker is that this was only unsealed recently, that these swimmers even failed doping tests. And that's why people mostly lost their minds, that these swimmers were being allowed back in because of the secrecy that surrounded their doping violations to begin with. And that's what's happening here. If we were just given transparency, maybe people will still lose their damn minds because they find out that there are women who exist with high testosterone, or that XY females exist, but at least we would have a better way of defending her instead of just saying, she's female, which she is. So, I don't know. Like I said, that's why I didn't want to do this video, because we don't have all the information. The missing piece is why she was kicked out of the World Championships for failing a gender test. If they just told us what the test is and how it was that she failed, maybe we could better defend against whatever the attacks are now. Because then we could go into, and some people still have, explained that XY females exist, that women with high testosterone exist. And now you can easily say that if she has high testosterone, because again, there is a range for how much testosterone or any hormone a person can have in their body. If she was too high for the range, I could totally understand why she would be kicked out. But the IOC didn't see it that way. So I just don't understand, you know, why can't we know what's happening? It would be so much easier to form an opinion, you know, whether the IOC got it wrong, whether they got it right, if we knew the specifics. But we don't. And that is why people shouldn't be running their mouths on social media either, claiming that they know for a fact that this person is male, without any evidence. So, yeah. That is all I have for this video. And with that, I will see you guys in the next one.